Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very special episode because we're talking about Garten of Banban 8, the brand new chapter of the beloved horror series that's about to return with tons of incredible updates. The game is practically around the corner and very soon the official release date will be revealed. But in the meantime, we're here to analyze everything we know so far about the gameplay, the new features and what we'll find during our journey through the terrifying Banban's kindergarten. In this video, we're going to discover what the gameplay of Garten of Banban 8 will be like. New gameplay mechanics that could completely change how we interact with the environment and survive inside the facility. We'll take a look at all the hottest theories from the trailers and leaks. I'll tell you what secrets might finally be revealed in this 8th chapter. We'll talk about that right now. But before we begin, if you're a huge fan of Garten of Banban 2, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a big like on this video. That way you won't miss any updates, theories or gameplay when the new chapter drops. Every week I bring you fresh videos, sneak peeks and hidden details that only the most attentive fans will notice. Now enough talk, let's get ready to dive once again into the most terrifying school in the gaming world. Garten of Banban 8 is waiting for us, and this time, it might be the moment when everything changes. Ready? Let's get started. And now let's finally dive into the heart of this video. Let's talk about the game mechanics of Garten of Banban 8, because this is where we start to notice the first big changes compared to the previous chapters. As we all know, one of the key items that has always accompanied us throughout the adventure, starting from the very first chapter, has been the drone. Except for chapter 0, where its absence was justified by the introductory nature of the story. The drone has been a true extension of our character. We used it to press high buttons, to unlock blocked doors, to solve puzzles, and sometimes to reach inaccessible areas. In short, the drone was a core element of the gameplay, a vital companion for survival. But over time, its function also evolved. For example, starting from chapter 6, the drone became a mobile light source, allowing us to navigate through completely dark areas without getting caught off guard. A smart mechanic that added tension and strategy, especially in the scariest hallways of the facility. However, be careful. In the trailer for Garten of Banban 8, the drone doesn't appear at all, not even for a second. Instead, we see a new mysterious remote with a completely different design compared to the one from previous chapters. And this new device doesn't seem to be connected to the drone. In fact, it might represent the beginning of a whole new interaction system. What does this mean? Is it possible that the drone will be completely removed from the gameplay? Or will the remote have a different function, maybe linked to new objects to control or even new characters? This absence of the drone might seem like a small detail, but it's actually a huge change. It means that the gameplay we knew might be restructured from the ground up, with new dynamics, new challenges, and maybe even a new way to perceive the environment around us inside the game. But one thing is certain, the fact that the drone doesn't appear in the trailer is not a coincidence. And now, let's talk about it directly. The new remote control, the big new feature of Garten of Banban 8. This mysterious device, which already appeared in the official trailer, could completely revolutionize the way we play. The remote has a completely different design compared to what we've seen in previous chapters. It's not just a simple button controller, it also has a small digital display, showing a stylized image of some characters from the game. This detail, even if it seems small, might hide something much deeper. Maybe the remote isn't only for triggering mechanisms, but also to detect character presence, or even give us real-time info about them. But the most important function is clearly shown in the trailer. Thanks to this new device, we can interact with buttons from a distance. We see it in action as it activates mechanisms without needing to physically touch them, which is a huge change in gameplay. And at this point, the question comes naturally. If we can activate distant buttons with the remote, do we still need the drone? Exactly. We don't. Until chapter 7, the drone was essential for these kinds of actions. But now with the remote, these tasks can be done much faster and probably even more precisely. This new mechanic, besides simplifying certain interactions, also opens the door to new types of environmental puzzles. We might face challenges requiring perfect timing, button combinations, or multiple activations done from a distance. Another thing to consider is that this tool could be upgradable, maybe with new modules we'll find throughout the adventure. All of this suggests that the remote won't just be a drone replacement, but a true evolution of the interaction system within the world of Garten of Banban. Such an important change makes it clear that Garten of Banban 8 won't just continue the story, but will also be a chapter where the gameplay is completely reinvented, bringing us new challenges, more dynamic and engaging than ever. But now let's talk about another major new feature we can already notice in Chapter 8, the size of the maps. Yes, because compared to previous chapters, this time the game environment will be much larger, and this detail could once again completely change the way we experience the game. In the earlier chapters of Garten of Banban, as you'll remember, the maps were divided into very specific sectors. They were closed environments, sometimes even very small. Each sector had its own identity, but it rarely offered a sense of open space or freedom. The progression was quite linear. You solved the puzzle, opened the door, and moved on to the next sector. Then in Chapter 7, there was a major shift. For the first time, we found ourselves moving through an actual city, an open environment with streets, buildings, and interiors that could be explored more freely. It was the first sign that the developers were experimenting with the structure of the game world, paving the way for something much bigger. And now in Chapter 8, it seems this concept will be taken to the next level. The maps we'll face will be much larger, and in some cases we might be looking at areas that feel almost like semi-open world exploration. In the trailer and some of the early screenshots, we've already seen a few of the major locations we'll be able to explore. The prison, a seemingly underground facility with long metal hallways and creepy cells. Syringan's clinic, one of the most mysterious areas introduced so far. Other parts of the city, which may be connected to the map seen in Chapter 7. And then the cave, a brand new environment, rocky, dusty, and apparently very dark. These maps won't just be scenery, they'll be living environments, full of environmental puzzles, dangers, and most likely new enemies waiting to appear at any moment. And we're almost certain that there will be more areas not yet revealed, kept hidden to surprise players once the game is released. Another big new element we might see in Garten of Banban 8 concerns something that has never really been explored in previous chapters, the escape game mechanic. That's right. As we saw in the official trailer, at the beginning of the new chapter, our character will find themselves locked inside a real prison. And it won't be just any prison. It will be a prison guarded by creepy creatures known as Givanium citizens, whose specific role seems to be to prevent any escape. This setting opens up tons of new possibilities for gameplay. We'll have to move stealthily, avoid patrols, maybe even hide or create distractions to avoid being caught. Just like in classic escape games, we may need to find keys, codes, or other hidden objects that will help us unlock doors and access new areas. And considering how big the map will be in this chapter, it's likely that we won't just have to escape the prison, but also flee the city or reach secret zones while avoiding the guards. If this mechanic is truly introduced, Garten of Banban 8 could become one of the most intense and engaging chapters of the whole series. And after the escape, most likely the exploration of new areas will begin, just like we mentioned in the previous part of the video. But to find out, we'll have to wait for the official release of the game. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos on Garten of Banban and many other horror games. We'll see you soon with new theories, new mysteries, and new creepy videos. Bye bye!